Hello and welcome to ETTO's Catch Up. I'm Will.
And I'm Sam.
And on today's show, the biggest franchise in the world has news, and it's not Star Wars. Well, it is. It's also Star Wars, but
yeah, there we go.
The other franchise has news as well. I'm not with Josh. That's Sam over there.
It's me.
Sam, how you been? It's called the catch
Not
up.
bad.
Let's catch up.
Let's catch up. I think the most exciting thing for me, and I know there's going to be people out there in about 5 seconds that are rolling their eyes, but I got a bottle of Prime and I'm very excited because I've been so curious.
Yeah. And it's been like a month now and you haven't been able to get one, right? Like it's been a while.
Yeah. I went so far as to go to Canberra. No, not actually just for this. But I was going to Melbourne and I was passing through Canberra overnight for like just to stay at my cousin's and there was 2 Woolies near them. I went to these 2 Woolies, none were there. When I was in Melbourne, I checked one on 2 Woolies, nothing there.
That's wild.
So today is Easter Saturday when we are doing this pod. And I had an inkling that there would be some because I was like, okay, the shops are closed for Good Friday. That's going to give them time to like restock and not just have shit just vanish like within seconds. So I was like, it would be an Easter miracle if I go in there on a Saturday or a Sunday and it's just there. And sure enough, it was.
Totally. And Jesus is a big fan of Prime and he's currently dead. So he can't buy any.
There was a cardboard cutout of him though, and he's there holding it, doing the finger point.
Amazing.
Not actually, but it'd be good.
How cruel.
that should be a thing though. But yeah, I'm going to open her up and
here we go.
Try it. Okay.
Let's find out.
Do it.
And what flavor is this one?
This one's blueberry. So this is meant to be the better one.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's blueberry, lime. They're the 2 good ones. And then there's a tropical and an icy pole. Don't have that unless you like the taste of cough syrup.
Cough syrup.
Prime. Okay.
Taste it.
It actually, like, as soon as I opened the bottle, it was like, it just filled the room.
Wow.
Actually, it says to shake it. Hang on. I'm just going to give it a bit of a...
There we go. All right.
It smells nice, but it's also, like, questionable.
Yeah, okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I would, if this is the good one, what the hell is the other taste like?
Totally.
It's definitely got, like, a blueberry taste, I guess. But the consistency as well, because it's got coconut water, it's not as, like, thick.
Yeah,
Sorry, not as, like, thin as, like, water or, like, a Gatorade. So it's got a little bit of, like, a texture to it, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, okay. Because I've seen like videos of 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds just spitting it out in a park and it's like, oh, yeah, okay.
See, but then I've also seen videos of 10-year-olds sculling it like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. You can't tell.
Look, it's definitely like nice. It's not something you can like just knock back as quickly as like a water or like an orange juice. Like just something that's nice, you know?
Yeah.
But that's Prime.
That's Prime, everybody. But also, speaking of Prime, last week on Wednesday, you and I had the opportunity to go to a Transformers exhibition.
We did, and I'm so glad you used that as a segue.
That was pretty good.
Perfect.
It's at King's Comics in Sydney. It's free, so if you are in or around the area, check it out.
If you're walking by the building, just walk in there and have a look.
The bottom floor has like a bunch of toys in all the cabinets. A lot of them, all of them bar like 2 cabinets are collectors from across Australia have brought their shit there. And then there's just a couple of bits of art as well. It's cool. It's cool that there's a toy thing that's not just like a swap meet, like it's not a market. It's like a nice
absolutely. Because obviously like we knew vaguely what the whole thing was going to like have inside it before we went there. But I didn't know that it was like they had contacted people that buy like merch for Transformers and then had their stuff encased in cabinets.
Totally.
And we had a bit of a chat to some people, and my thing was like, are you not worried about your stuff being here? Because a few of the items were like worth a lot. Just because of like how rare some of these things are. And like they had things varying from like the 70s, 80s, 90s and onwards. So I was like, you're not worried about your stuff being in there? Like, no. But I'm like, no, I can see a tear rolling down their cheek.
I hadn't considered it until you said it just then. So like, wait, like when I talked to one of the guys and I was like, what would you steal? I could see his face going like, people could steal stuff, couldn't they? It's like, oh shit. But it's cool. It's like, it's well worth having a look at. And,
for sure.
I hope they do like Star Wars ones and stuff. I'd love to see another one.
Star Wars would be insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah.
If it's only a fraction of the Obi-Wan Ranch or whatever it is in America, that would be sick. But
absolutely.
Well worth to have a look. And we filmed some stuff.
Fun.
So you might see some stuff from that soon. That figures. Hey.
That figures.
And you know what figures, Sam? It's a little thing
figures, William?
I like to call the news. And it is time to talk about that news. Sam,
give it to me, mate.
You've done your best to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I always do this to you. There's always things where I'm like, stay away.
I feel like it's because I genuinely get excited about these things and I don't hear about a thing and instantly go, that's going to be shit.
Yeah.
Given maybe like one or two things here or there. But for the most part, I'm genuinely excited when a franchise I enjoy are like, here's a bunch of shit.
Even like Star Wars has done, it's like, oh, we've actually cancelled half of it. It's still exciting to think about, oh, it's coming. Star Wars Celebration's happening in London as we record. When this drops, it'll all be over. But day one brought us the Lucasfilm panel, which is where they kind of announced all the new stuff and gave updates on other stuff. There actually isn't that much new, but there's some cool updates.
Cool.
We'll start off. I'm going to kind of go through the way I absorbed it last night.
So just from crying the most to then calming down and
coming back. And I was watching the Lewis Capaldi documentary at the time, so I was already feeling pretty emotional. And I was like, fucking hell. But the first thing was they brought out the Andor cast. Obviously not something we're that interested in. There was also a bunch of convention exclusive trailers.
Yeah, cool.
So there's only really 2 trailers that actually dropped. But there was a trailer for this. All of them are around. If you look hard enough, they're out there.
Okay.
The snipers didn't do
what I thought
their best.
Yep.
But it didn't look that different to season 1. So whatever. Okay. But it's set to drop kind of June, August next year.
So that's for Andor season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And that'll be final season. That'll lead us all the way up to Rogue One. Like it's
okay, cool.
It doesn't have any more legs in it. Then the coolest show I think that's coming soon is The Acolyte, which is the one that's set 100 years before the prequels. That's kind of the rise of the Sith is the idea of it. It's cool. It's also, I think, predominantly set from the point of view of the Sith. Like it's a show about the baddies, which is cool.
Like that.
And this is the one that has the crazy cast. There's a bunch of people from like Russian Doll and The Good Place. The 2 that I think you'll be excited for. I'm sure you know about this already, but the lead Jedi Master is Squid Game's Lee Jung-jae, like the main dude in Squid Game.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and this is his first like full English speaking part.
Oh wow!
So this is huge for him.
That's amazing.
So he's the lead Jedi in it, and one of the many apprentices. It's kind of like that kind of dynamic. One of the apprentices is an alien played by Daphne Keane, who played X-23.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Which is really cool. So basically the whole cast was there and it was cool to see them. Sick. And they're like so fucking excited.
Oh,
like they were just buzzing, which was sick.
That's cool.
They described it as a Frozen meets Kill Bill show, which is interesting. I don't know what that means. And then the biggest thing about all of the news from this was that Jonas Sumato, who played Chewie in Solo and the sequels, is going to be a Wookiee Jedi. There's going to be a Wookiee Jedi in it, and he's coming back to play it, which is really cool. So, love this franchise bringing back old actors to give them
I think it's a thing where it's like, if you want a Wookiee, it's going to be hard to find someone else that's almost 8 feet tall.
Yeah. So you know they're going to do it well.
Yeah, for sure. So you may as well just get the guy that you know is young and can do it and is game for it. Yeah.
You can break the man over the next 20 years that he does this.
Sure.
And that's not going to release date, but sometime next year.
Okay.
They then had a Mando bit. Pedro wasn't there. Katie Sackhoff was. I guess that family drama is not a problem. I guess she can just be in America anyway. We have some salt there. But they didn't really do much in terms of news on Mando, but they showed the first 6 minutes of the next episode. Which is pretty cool. And then at the end of the day, which I think has already happened, they played the full episode 7.
Oh, wow. So, that's cool.
There's a potential that episode 7 is going to drop this weekend because
just to avoid spoilers and stuff.
Because when they dropped Obi-Wan's, and you guys would know it's Tuesday for you, but when they did the first episode of Kenobi, they ended up bringing that forward a fair amount because they were like, we probably should get that out.
Yeah, okay.
So it may drop very soon, which is really cool. But that's it for Mando. Skeleton Crew, which is the other one of the 3 shows this year. Mando, Skeleton Crew, and Ahsoka. Skeleton Crew, we've got all the directors we know now that are involved. It's showrun and directed by John Watts, which is the Spidey trilogy, the Homecoming trilogy. But then we have David Lowery, who directed The Green Knight, which was a film, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. The Daniels are doing episodes, the guys that did Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's cool.
Which is very cool. Jake Schreier, who I could only find indie stuff, but is going to be doing the Thunderbolts movie. He's one of the directors on it, which is cool. Lee Isaac Chung, another indie director, and Bryce Dallas Howard will be also doing it, which is cool.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of Mando pedigree there, so that's really cool. We also know that Kerry Condon, who is like one of the 3 main actors in the Banshees of Inisherin, she's also going to be in the cast. She's amazing. And this releases later this year.
Cool.
Nothing crazy there. If you haven't already seen it, it was an Ahsoka trailer. It was fucking amazing.
Oh my God. So good. Like it was, because lately, and I think, because even with like some of the posters that have dropped, it's like lately I've been so let down by things, and now there are things that are getting me excited again. And I'm not like allowing them to break the barrier yet. But it's like you're making a good start.
Totally. Yeah. Like this trailer, I feel like I haven't showed it to my parents. I don't know what the clean audience of Star Wars will feel about it.
Yeah.
Because of course, like you're not versed in Rebels and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I'm not that well versed, but like I know the lore around it. I know some of the characters and storylines. So when like in the trailer they mentioned Thrawn, I was like, what the fuck? And I'm assuming that's who we see in the trailer as well. Yeah, the
back of the head.
So we only see so it's not the guy with the beard and the saber, is it?
No. So Thrawn's he's a blue-faced dude. So we quickly see.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah. Sweet. No, the saber things are completely new.
Yeah. Okay.
Which are really interesting. There's a lot of potential because Thrawn is from a trilogy of books called the Heir to the Empire kind of thing, which were kind of they're either in. I'm going to say it wrong. I feel like they're the sequel trilogy we didn't get. They were written as the sequels to the original movies back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. Like we're basically getting an adaptation of the trilogy that Disney didn't make. That's where cool. Mando is headed, really. So there's children of the 90s and early 2000s that are like, they're doing the thing that I was praying for.
Yeah.
That's cool. But with all these new characters, which is really, really sick. Those new Sith guys are really interesting. They got like orange sabers and the actual blade is like not white. It's kind of a bit dull and so there's some cool stuff there. We also know that Ramona Flowers, Ewan McGregor's wife, Mary Elizabeth Winstead will be playing Hera in the show.
That's cool.
Which is really exciting. One of the main characters from Rebels that is coming across. Fucking cool. That's all the TV show stuff. We'll get into the movie news now, Sam. The stuff you know hopefully nothing about.
Wait, so that was it for TV stuff?
Yeah. So there wasn't that much. It was kind of
no, because there's a thing that I vaguely saw. So if that's a movie thing,
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, go on, please.
The first thing we got was the timeline structure of where everything is kind of in the galaxy and the different periods. So we've got the Old Republic, the High Republic, the Fall of the Jedi, which is the prequels, the Rise of the Empire, which is kind of, Andor and stuff, Age of Rebellion, which is the original trilogy, the New Republic, which is what we're in now in terms of the Mando stuff, and then Rise of the First Order is obviously building into the sequels. So that's kind of where everything's got a name now. But we already have 2 extra names because James Mangold, who obviously Logan director, directs the Indiana Jones movie, is doing a story about the first Jedi.
Holy fuck.
And he called it a biblical epic, was his words, which is very interesting.
I just took a biblical epic in my pants.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The director of Logan doing a story about the first ever Jedi.
That's a amazing good start. Yeah.
So, so this is part of a new period that they're going to be working in, which is called the Dawn of the Jedi. So this is set even before the Old Republic. So it's like thousands of years before the prequels, which is really cool.
Oh, that's exciting.
So none of these have dates. They're doing the smart thing, like Gunn. Just tell us they're coming and we'll work it. The next one, which is maybe the one you've seen, which is Dave Filoni finally has a film, and this is going to be the film that's culminating everything happening in The Mandalorian and Ahsoka and stuff. Wow. So you're going to go to the cinema to see the end of the saga we're currently watching on TV, which is very cool. Obviously, it'll be very interesting. Like, it's even harder than the Marvel stuff. Yeah. Like, there's at least attachment to characters, whereas like 90% of the characters that are going to star in this film, if you've never seen any of the shows, you're probably not going to go see the movie.
Oh man, they're confident.
They're confident. It's what we're building towards. It'll be the Thrawn movie, basically. Like Ahsoka will play with it, but this is going to be for a lot of people the sequels. Like this which is very interesting. It'll be interesting to see if this has Luke in it. Like if this is gonna have the original trilogy cast. So there's that one. And then I guess this is the one you've heard about, which is Shamin I'm going to butcher the name, I'm sorry. Shamin Obede Shinoy, who directed 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. Unfortunately, the 2 I didn't like. But a lot of directors do shit things and then they do a really good thing. But they are going to be directing a film that will follow the establishment of the new Jedi Order 15 years after Rise of Skywalker, starring Daisy Ridley as Rey.
So I heard about her coming back for something.
Oh my God.
But I didn't know what. Yeah. That's so interesting.
But going back to Mandalorian, by this point, Grogu will be 90, so he'll kind of be fairly formed as a character as well. So it's going to be a Rey and Grogu-led film for sure. But yeah, it's very exciting. I hope John Boyega gets the call. I hope that they're trying to get him in. Very cool. I assume that will probably come out once they've settled what they're doing with The Mandalorian, because it's set after everything. They'll probably want to distance it and not because if certain things happen in that movie, then you've spoilt what you're going to end The Mandalorian
because that would be the same, for even Mando. It's like, when are these things going to wrap up so that then you can release this thing? Because Mando, season 4 is confirmed, isn't it?
Season 4 at the very least. They've also said that the movie doesn't mean the end of that. It's kind of it's the culmination of what's happening currently. But it's if you want everything to lead to that movie, it's you want the series to reach a point where it then can naturally lead into the movie, and then from there you can make more series from it. Cool. But which is cool. 3 new movies confirmed.
Wow.
Alongside the definite Taika Waititi film.
Okay, so that's still happening?
That's not gone away.
Okay.
Ryan Johnson's trilogy, I think, is pretty dead in the water.
Yeah, from what I heard,
he's mentioned he wants to do it, but it's he's happy with the Knives Out stuff.
Yeah,
he's busy.
Just do that, mate.
Yeah, and they've definitely cancelled Kevin Feige's trilogy. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and then wasn't there something that Kathleen Kennedy was going to do, and they've also scrapped that?
Yeah, or there was the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron
Patty Jenkins
film as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Which they've said they still want to do something with that idea, but the film won't happen anytime soon.
Okay.
It may be turned into a TV series instead. But yeah. So, very, very cool. And there was an Indiana Jones trailer, and it was very good.
It was very, very good. And the poster was even better.
Oh,
can I just say, Sam, to have a nice poster that actually has, like, thought into it, and it's just heads thrown on. Oh, yeah. Like, holy crap.
There's people have, like, speculated who drew it. We don't know for sure yet, but there's an artist on Instagram that has kind of done that style, and it looks a little bit like his thing, so hopefully we'll find out soon.
That'd be cool.
And hopefully they get him to do more stuff. Like, if they, like a Mando movie with that as its poster style would be amazing.
I feel though that, like, being Disney, they're still going to give a chain of posters that vibe of Disney, and then they're just going to be really shitty AI rendered environments with just airbrushed characters in it and heads everywhere, and cool.
God damn it.
Cool.
God damn it. I wonder if they'll do a poster with young Indy, like de-aged Indy, because that'll really, like,
that'd be cool.
Put it to the test of, like, can you put an AI generated character on a poster?
Because surely, like, trying to render a younger Indy as an image is easier than, like, a 3D moving, like, face.
Yeah. You can tweak it up.
Cool. That'd be cool.
I'll take it. But very, very cool. Star Wars Celebration's still going as we speak.
Yes.
There's some panels that are specifically on Mando and Ahsoka.
Okay.
And so there may be some extra tidbits and stuff that come from that. But this is probably all the news we'll get. There's going to be some fun toys and stuff. So tune in tomorrow night. That's Wednesday. I'm saying tomorrow because this comes out on Tuesday, but that figures. We'll have some cool stuff. They announced a droid today that made me very, very happy.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Made me so fucking happy.
Sick.
So very exciting. But speaking of posters, Sam, there's another IP that it has a film this year.
Yeah.
We've left Star Wars Celebration.
Okay.
We're moving on to our second story, which is about the Barbie movie.
Oh, holy crap. Just like the best marketing material any studio has ever made. And what a freaking lineup of talent to drop in these posters as well.
Yeah. Like I as I scrolled, I was like, you're in this?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Like I had similar. I had Ncuti Gatwa, like known, obviously Gosling and Margot Robbie, and I think that was kind of it, and Emma Mackey. They were kind of the only ones I was like, they're definitely in this film. Yeah. But then Michael Cera,
that was the one that I was most excited about. I was like, Michael Cera? I was like, oh my God.
And the craziest thing is that because of course there is, like we always say, there's fans of everything. Yeah. I'm seeing the lore. People are talking about that all the characters from the Barbie world, they like announce some humans as well. Yeah. But all the characters from the Barbie world are all specific either versions of Barbie or characters that have come out. Yeah. And people are like, the way they're portraying them is exactly how kids used to play with them. Like,
that's cool.
Is it Kate McKinnon? Is that the SNL?
Like, she's the one with like all the hair pulled out and like the pencil all over her face.
And I think her thing is like she's always doing the splits, and everyone's like, mine was always, I always put her in the splits. It's like they're doing this. We're not going to, for once, Sam, we're going to watch a film and be like, I'm not getting everything.
But I reckon it might be a thing as well, like you were saying with Mario, where it's like, you may not, like you may not know, but you watch it and go, that's a reference to a thing. Like that means something.
Totally. Yeah.
That's cool.
What were your other surprises from the cast?
Well, I had like mainly just like, because like I'll see a bit of information, I'll acknowledge it, but then it'll just go out of my head within 2 days.
Yeah.
So I forgot about Emma Mackey. So I saw that and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about Simu Liu. So I saw him and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. But then I completely forgot about Will Ferrell. I'm trying to get it up because there wasn't that many.
Yeah.
That
the only, like, I was the like, other two. was Helen Mirren as the narrator, which is sick.
That's right.
I hope she's physically
William.
in it. Yeah.
Dua Lipa.
That one fucking messed me up.
Dua Lipa. What the fuck?
Insane. I assume she's got a song in the film as well.
Surely.
It would be weird if she hasn't got one. But Dua Lipa as the mermaid.
Someone made one of Ben Affleck when he was going through his phase, and it's very funny. But do continue.
No, yeah, I'm excited to see all these people and like how they factor into it. I do wonder if the majority of the Barbie cast is kind of only in the first 20 minutes, and it's just a sea of cameos because then they go to the real world, and it's kind of like we leave behind all those really interesting actors.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the film's about. So
yeah, well, like because for a lot of them, like with Simu and Shooty, I can't see them being in it for a long time. Like there'll be a few moments of them here and there, but yeah, I can't see them having like very like important roles.
Totally.
Purely because all we know is that we go to the real world at some point. And that Barbie, she is somehow transferred over. But with all of that, we also got a trailer, which looks so much fun. I loved it when she's driving and Ken pops up and he's like, I'm coming with you. And she's like, well, did you bring your rollerblades? And he's like, I literally go nowhere without them.
Yeah. And they look like single molded plastic.
Yes.
Like they don't look like they would function.
No. Like they look like the most simple, casted pair of rollerblades I could have ever made. And I think that's what is really good about like what looks good about this so far is that like the costuming, the props, the environments, they all look like a Barbie like play set.
Totally.
Like it looks amazing.
Like when she takes off the shoe and her feet stays in the position. Oh,
amazing.
Like, look, so good.
If there's like an early screening or a red carpet here in Sydney, I'm going to go feral for that shit.
Absolutely. I'll dress as Alan.
I'm there all in pink. Just, 100%.
Undoubtedly. Oh, God. It looks so fun.
So fun.
I don't know which order you watch this and Oppenheimer. Like, do you watch the nuclear war film first or after?
I reckon before.
Yeah, and then this is a bomb.
Yeah. You watch that, you get terrified, and then you hop into Barbie and you're like, no, everything's okay.
Life's a party or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I saw someone did a recut with I'm a Barbie Girl, and it is very good. Like
okay.
They've done a very good job.
In the movie though.
Mattel hate that song.
Oh, do they?
Like they hate that song. Wow. Like I think there was no legal issue with them doing it, but Mattel fucking please. So I don't think it will be annoyingly. It may be in the credits, but it definitely won't be an important part of the film. I'd
like if it's at least what's playing on the radio as she's driving. Just something small. Like, because I feel like to have a proper, like a Barbie movie go in a cinema, like a live action Barbie with the cast you've got, like and it being to the scale that it is, I feel like you've got to put it in there somewhere just as fan service.
Yeah.
You know?
It's easy. Yeah. It's like Shazam having I Need a Hero. Okay, it's silly and it's very easy, but it was fucking cool.
So amazing. So
good. I'm keen for this. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of cool Star Wars stuff. Make sure you check out the, they did a trailer for Ahsoka and for Indy. So check those out.
Watch them.
They're very cool. Very, very cool. Also cool is this button. When I press this button, it's pretty cool. Welcome to the ad read. I think the only we still have no products there. There's still nothing going on. But we like to shout out patrons here sometimes.
Cool.
And this time I'm going to shout out Antonio II, who joined the Patreon quite recently.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I see you on the Tweeties sometime. I see you in the back pockets.
Amazing.
I believe Antonio is a great video game player in general. From what I've heard, if they're in a game, you're fucked. Like they're gonna wreck you.
He's probably been the one that's been in my Fortnite matches and just killing me as soon as I land. Yeah.
Damn. What's been happening in Fortnite? Is there anything exciting in Fortnite right now?
I don't think so. I played a couple of games last night with my brother and cousin, and we haven't played it in probably a few months. The map has changed. We noticed that. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure a new season has started. So this is the new vibe of the season, because in the item shop, it was all just like old emotes, like just pages of emotes. And that's normally what I've noticed they do at the start of a season. So I haven't looked at like what's involved in like the battle pass or anything, but I mean, look, it's still fun and like funny to play.
But you're not working towards Dwayne as Black Adam. Yeah.
I've bought him. I've got him in my locker.
Good. That's where the fucking Rock belongs.
Yeah.
Not in Hawaii shooting another fucking remake of Moana.
I'm so
excited. Home. You idiot.
So excited.
you just can't leave him alone, can you? You'll never leave him.
No, never.
It'll just be you and the Rock forever.
Yeah.
Oh god, I can't wait to watch that though. It's going to be so silly. It's going to be so silly.
Yeah, I'm just very intrigued as to how they're going to go about it. That's all.
Yeah. I think was it in the Discord that someone was like, "Are they going to thicken him?" Like,
I was talking about. I thought, like, when I was thinking about, because I was like, how are they going to do him as Maui? Because like he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Like the Rock is already a big dude, but Maui is like Disney
he's
big
built.
dude. Like he's cartoon big.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to go the route of Genie in Aladdin. Same as what they did with Will Smith, where he was entirely CG.
Oh, wow. That's going to be a ballsy play.
Yeah. So I think they're going to do that. But someone in our Discord, Dolphin, mentioned, what if they do what they did to Brendan Fraser in The Whale and just physically make him a suit that he can put on? Because both methods are doable.
Yeah.
Both of them can look very wrong if done incorrectly.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, I think just because it is Disney, they haven't really done much of the practical side of things, so I think they will just go the CGI route.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
I would die laughing if this ends up being a situation like Sonic, where it's like they show a brief tease of a CG render of Maui and it's nightmare fuel and the internet goes into meltdown and they go, okay, we'll just have him be The Rock.
But The Rock with hair as well. I just realized Maui has hair.
That as well, So there's a lot to unpack.
That's going to be so interesting.
But I would like it if they used the actress that played Moana in the animated.
That'd be nice.
Like it would be nice. Like again, they may go a different route with Disney. I feel like they will.
It'll just be one of his kids.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this stage,
probably.
Sure.
Well, hopefully they add the Maui skin to Fortnite, and then Antonio in a second. Watch out for Sam with a hook in his Maui skin. Thank you, Antonia, and thank you everyone for submitting cues in our next segment. We like to call. We call it it's the cues from yous, which is where we get cues from yous. I put out a call today for Sam related questions.
Ooh. Did we get any?
I kind of just got two. It's Easter weekend. People are busy. Genuinely, this is not a joke.
Yeah. 2
questions from 2 separate people.
Yeah.
Worded, grammatically written identically, Sam. Genuinely. Dolphin Pants and Dingo.
Yeah.
And I'll send you a screenshot later.
Yeah.
They wrote, question for Sam.
Yeah.
- Superman?
Is that it?
That's it. Both of them did the exact same thing.
Oh, I hate that I'm like known that much.
I mean, we're going to talk about Superman in a second.
Yeah.
So, we'll get there. But, I mean, taking from that, incredible question from both of them. What is it about Superman that you love so much?
When I was a kid, it was purely the fact that he was so like OP. Like just the fact that this guy was unstoppable. And not in like the way that he was like causing havoc. And I think it was the thing that he had all this power, but he was doing good things with it. I think is, I guess, why I enjoy many superhero based things as well. But as I've gotten older, it's a thing of like, I still love the fact that he's so powerful and can do so much, but there's a very, very emotional aspect to him and like we will talk about this in the last episode of Superman and Lois, but there's a side to him where he's got to be in so much control all the time, and there's a great depth to him about being both Clark Kent and Superman that I really admire. And I think continuing that, just his will to wanting to help people, even though he can do whatever he wants, is just really nice.
It's funny, like, not to take one superhero down to bring another one up. Yeah. But I do think that, of all the characters in comics that have dual identities, his is the most interesting. Like, just for how, like, Peter Parker can hide it because it's a dude in a costume. Whereas, like, how do you hide that strength and stuff all the time? And the scale of the man, he's always drawn so big. Yeah. But it's all just down to how he acts between the two. And I saw, like, I recently saw a great sketch from an artist. I think it was an artist who drew Superman for a comic. And they were talking, like, they were showing how they drew him differently when he's Superman and Clark Kent. So when he's Superman, he's upright, chest out, nice and big and strong, face forward. When he drew him as Clark Kent, he arched him and he sort of had his neck sink into his body and had him kind of head down but looking over his glasses. And it was it was these like changes that you wouldn't even think about, but it made the world of difference. And the same thing happens in the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. The scene when Lois realizes that he's Superman and they're in the hotel room and all that. When I think she goes to not shoot him. I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in so long, but she does something to him where at that point it's like everything's out on the table. As soon as that moment happens, he just chest out and then he slopes into the glass and he's standing tall and strong. It's like, it's these changes where I'm like, holy crap. Like, that's really, it's cool. Yeah. Yeah. And what's your, like, is your favorite Superman thing, is it Man of Steel? Or has Superman and Lois taken it?
Here's the thing. Like, I think at the moment, my favorite Superman thing is Superman and Lois. But it's like across the board, I have a very certain love for everything. Yeah. Like if you ask me why I loved each different thing, I can tell you why. But it's I don't think I have a top of the list. Like it's just that I've genuinely enjoyed so many aspects of everything that has come out for the character in recent years.
Totally. Like, I mean, I think I saw someone tweet it, but there's never been a bad Superman. Like, no matter what the project it
depends who you ask, but
But I mean, even for me, it's like I think I didn't love the things he was in, but Henry Cavill's Superman, I'm like, he is perfect. Like, even if I didn't like the writing or the way it was, it's absolutely. Like, that's Superman. Yeah. Brandon Routh, amazing. Yeah. Like, yeah.
And I think that's the saddest thing about what's happened to Cavill is that he hasn't had the opportunity to be written a decent script and a decent film where he can portray like that just charming and warm version of Superman that people know. Because like 100% he could have done that. Like he was perfect the way he was. All they needed was a script and a story and a film or a show, whatever, and he could have been amazing. So I'll always be forever wondering what that could look like. But like, look, for what we have now is great. I just hope that James Gunn doesn't screw up Superman Legacy because I'm so worried.
I just want, like, it could be the most enjoyable superhero film ever. Like, if it's good and it's a beautiful, wholesome Superman story, my God, what a cool thing that could be.
But I think, like, for me, a thing is it can be all of that and more. But if he doesn't cast the right person, because my thing is, if I see a Superman that's too young, I'm going to be seeing more of a John Kent story than I am a Clark Kent story. I think just because of more so like the recent comic series as well. Like it has like if he's got that look, I'm going to be like, but you just look like Superman's son. I don't see a Clark Kent Superman trying to figure out his heritage and his path in the world, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get an announcement tomorrow, and I will be proved wrong.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
No, for sure.
But in terms of actual questions, thank you, Dolphin and Dingo.
Thanks, guys.
Dion asks, do you listen to anything while you're working, or are you just working out here? Sorry. Do you listen to anything while working, or are you just out here working raw? Which is amazing.
That's great.
And then, like, I mean, I kind of, when I think of working, I think for both of us at work, for me, I can't really listen to anything because I'm doing stuff. And
I listen to kids screaming. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many jokes. So I kind of took this as weirdly because it's us. Like when we're doing art or Photoshop or chilling when we're making anything. Do you are you listening to, like, you're making a Superman piece, are you listening to the score? Or?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah? Like there are times where if I'm making a certain piece and if I just feel, like, if it's a piece where I know I'm going to be sitting here for a long time, just to kind of keep that flow going, I will play something. Most, like, sometimes I don't, but like in general, I'll listen to like maybe like a Talkville podcast if there's a new Talkville podcast for the week. Like there'll be a few podcasts that I have on Spotify that I'll listen to. But yeah, I'll listen to a lot of scores. Like on my Spotify, I've got a Marvel and a DC playlist of just like all like my favorite tracks from like any movie related to them that's just in there. So I'll put that on or something. Even when I'm in the gym, I've got those on just to, you know, get me excited. But yeah. Yeah,
totally. Like I'm not much of a, cause like, do you listen to music much? Like,
I love my Ed Sheeran. Love my Ed Sheeran. When I was younger, I was a big fan of Eminem, and like that still comes to play today. Like when I'm in the gym and stuff, I'll play some of that. There's a few songs by Justin Bieber I'm a fan of, Lewis Capaldi. Other than that, it's not like a lot. Like in recent years, I haven't really gone out to like discover new music. It's kind of like if there's a song on the radio that I like, I'll Shazam it and chuck it on Spotify, whatever. But yeah, not much. Like I wouldn't, like, I don't know. There's not like an artist that I listen to like religiously. But like I would say Ed Sheeran is probably that one for me at the moment. Yeah.
That's a good chill one to have on at any point.
I love that man. He's amazing.
Next time he's here, let's all go. Let's go. Finchie went by himself.
What?
Yeah. He just went.
Told us.
I know. He does this.
Oh, because I went to his Divide tour in I think it was 2017.
Yeah.
And when he was doing the tour he did this year, I was tempted, but I was like, I had such a great time at the last one that I don't think it can be topped. Because at the last one, I was like at the front. Like not like at the front, but I was like in that little group. And it was it wasn't when he had like the circular stage in the middle. It was like a proper, so you could be right up at the edge of the stage and like just watch. And yeah, it was cool to like be that close, and like that album for me as well is my favorite one. So it was like he played all the best songs from that. So it was like, it was a mixture of like a great environment, great time had, plus like my favorite of his songs as well. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. No. I'm annoyed I missed him. It was like him and Dua Lipa and Billie Eilish. They were like back to back, and Harry Styles. And I'm like, I can't pay for this.
No, not at all.
So I just went with Capaldi because his tickets were cheap.
Yeah, good.
But that's a good question though, Dayon. Yeah, I'm the same. Score when I'm doing some art and stuff. I'm not much of a like lyric listener. But I mean, I've got my Dua Lipas, and like I said, everyone I just yelled about not saying. That's kind of all I listen to. But the other one, Dolphin Pants, is always here with an actual question, and I feel like you've probably got some good picks for this.
Okay.
He asks, favorite animated film from your childhood?
I definitely watched like the Toy Stories.
Yep.
Chicken Run.
Yeah, Chicken Run's good.
That was always fun. I'm trying to think of animated though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Chicken Run fits in that.
Yeah. But because I feel like, do you know what? Probably like a Ben 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ben 10. That shit went hard back in the day.
Did you have the thing?
I did.
You have
I had a shitty version of it. It wasn't
Omnitrix.
Yeah, the Omnitrix. Yeah. And when I don't know what year it was. Maybe like 2000 and I'm gonna say in between 2007 to 2009, 10. There was a live action, like a Nickelodeon film.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, Mum, you need to go to Big W and buy this DVD when it comes out. Because we didn't have we never had it when I was a kid, Foxtel.
Yeah, neither.
So I never got to watch any of these shows as they were like broadcast.
Yeah.
It was either I would just so happen to catch them if the ABC happened to play them at some point. So it was like, or I think it was on Channel 7. They had like the Disney Saturdays or something. So on there, there would be like an episode of something. But yeah, I think I was more of a TV boy as a kid though. Like I still loved my movies, but not so much the animated ones. More of the animated stuff I watched was TV. But But I would say Ben 10 was up there. Yeah.
That was your animated childhood.
Yeah, let's say that.
I got to make sure I call it. Was it The Brave Little Toaster? Did you ever watch that?
Oh, no.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. The Brave Little Toaster.
The Brave Little Toaster?
I only knew there was one film. There's The Brave Little Toaster, The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue, both set on Earth. I mean, it's a toaster that talks, so it's already weird.
Yeah.
But then they made a third one in 1998, which is The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars.
Oh, well, I know what you're doing this afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, is it on Disney Plus? This is.
Could you imagine?
This is worthwhile. I'm going to just check Disney Plus.
Bear
with me. The Brave Little Toaster is one of those films that probably sucks, but Brave Little Toaster.
As most like kids things did way back in the day, but we were just too naive to realise.
Damn, all we've got is Brave Little Taylor, a Mickey Mouse story.
Oh, damn it.
What a shame. I'm going to hunt that down and I'm going to talk about it next week.
Yeah, please.
Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. Yeah, awesome questions. I mean, in terms of Disney, Incredibles was my animated pick as a kid. Fucking amazing movie. But good cues. If you want to submit those more cues, you can get to the Patreon, go into the Discord, and submit them there. I want you to now submit questions for Sam that he'll read in 6 podcast time or something, whenever you're on next. They're ready for him. Because you're all out enjoying your Easter or something. You can fucking write some questions. Out there getting prime. Let's head to our last segment.
Prime.
Oh, did I write? I did it. I'm amazing. Happy Prime Day, everybody. Let's go into the second to last segment. Rec. There you go. That's the Rec Seg theme, Sam.
Holy shit.
I can't wait to have like I don't know, Pete or someone on this podcast and I play that and they're like, what the fuck is that?
Like, holy shit.
It was weird for you. It'd be weirder for anyone else.
Absolutely.
This is the Rec Seg where we talk about things that we've been watching. Cool. Spoiler free as much as we can. We might as well check in on your thoughts on The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
As it's kind of puttering along. Last 2 episodes inbound.
Okay. So I only got 2 more to go?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Talk about it, Sam.
Because I haven't been like too hot on this season. Like I've definitely, I enjoyed like the first episode. I was like, what's happening? Second one, I was like, okay, cool. But I thought that whole bit of like him going to Mandalore and bathing in the waters, I thought that was going to be like a 3 episode arc. Or run along the whole series. So since then, I'm like, where are you going? But like I've loved a lot of the stuff with Bo-Katan and the things she's spoken to the armorer about. I liked that. And then where I thought like when that happened, I was like, okay, cool. That's going to be what the rest of this series is about. I was so wrong. But this week's episode, like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed cameos in it.
Yeah.
But like what why?
I don't want to say what I think is what this show is doing until it's like the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because I think that the weird thing that it's found itself in is that it's got a really big story this season that it doesn't want to spend time on. And every season has been that. Like season 1 was obviously this big deal of like the Empire is growing and all that, and it doesn't really do anything until the last 2 episodes when Moff Gideon comes in. It's like, hey, I'm here. The show doesn't really touch that arc. Season 2 is a little bit more of a drive in, and I think that's what a lot of people and yourself, and I kind of am the same, held on to into this season. Was season 2 was a constant push towards getting Grogu home or getting him to a Jedi. Like every episode, the side missions were there, but a lot of it was about like, oh, he goes from here to here, does a thing there, but is on the way to finding out more information about Ahsoka and about the stone and all that kind of stuff. Whereas, this season has been very, very closed in every episode. Like it's kind of like it still has the thing that I hope if you ever rewatch this, you may see there's more kind of progression. Yeah, but it's definitely small in every episode for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think for me it's just a thing where it's like it has these moments at the very end of episodes where it's like a story point. It's like this is going to add to the overall thing. Yeah. But it's a minute out of a 45-minute episode. And next week it's just another something else. 40 to 45 minutes of something totally different that's got nothing to do with what they addressed. I'm like, but I want more of that one thing. Just go back to that one thing. And like we did get a little bit of that in this week's one. I love... Oh, it's spoiler though.
Yeah. We're going to be very vague.
There's a chase scene that happens.
Yes.
With a droid. I loved that because that was it just had so much like energy and chaos, and I thought that was great. I loved all of that. Yeah. But then so it had moments where I was like, okay, this is cool and fun and Star Wars and whatever. But then as a whole, when you look at it, it's kind of like, what was all the rest of that?
Yeah. It's hard, man. I think for me, I found a nice place with this season especially because it kind of feels for me like what I liked in Doctor Who. Okay. Like it's obviously not as smart. The writing in this show is fucking awful. Like everyone speaks like a fucking robot. And I know there's robots in the show, but no one is human in this show. Yeah. They're just so... Everything's animated, so dry and but like I kind of am fine with that. But I think... Without looking at it as like this ongoing thing, I've kind of been watching it as like a sci-fi show that just has a silly thing every week. Yeah, for sure. And so I think I've been getting a lot out of it that way. But for sure, I think for me, the thing that is the saddest is how... Because I love Bo-Katan. I love her via other stuff as well, but her role in the show is really good. I think for me, it's really sad how much like... There's nothing for Din to do. Like he's just kind of around now.
Yeah, he's kind of just around for the ride, isn't he?
Yeah. Which like I get like the first two. Like I mean, he's always been a reluctant hero. He's always been like, I just want to earn money and like do things. Yeah. So it's kind of like it would be weird to push him into a place that he doesn't belong. But it's like I don't know. I don't know what his future is in Star Wars. Like I don't know what he's around for.
Absolutely. I mean, like as much as I would like, because we've seen the character at his best, and I think now he's at a very like mediocre point. So like we've seen him at his best. We know that the character can get to that point. So I like with these new movies that were announced, if he shows up, like I mean, it's not likely. Because of like the time jump and stuff, but like if Din was there, I'd be like, holy shit. And I feel like a movie version of Din would be really cool to explore.
Totally, man. Like I mean, the thing, and like I'm gonna look like an idiot in 2 weeks if something happens to him, but it makes him very safe in this show. That if they're gonna make a movie, I think they want him in that movie. Okay, like they're not gonna. I feel like they're not gonna kill him. Yeah, and be like remove him from like it for me. Yeah, I was excited the movie. Like, I'm fucking keen for the movie. Yeah, it's kind of made me go, all right, Bo-Katan, I'll probably want her in the movie. Din, I'll probably want her. Grogu, like, there's a lot of, like, now that I know a movie's coming, they're probably all a little bit safer. Yeah. But at the same time, it might happen. Like, because he hasn't got much going on, it's like, removing him right now in the show... It wouldn't do much, mainly because Grogu also hasn't had a purpose. Yeah. Like, he's just kind of been around.
And this, like, I think The confusing thing for me is just like the overall execution of like the layout of these episodes and the story points in it. Like the fact that you had 2-3 episodes in the Book of Boba Fett that could have easily have been the first 3 episodes of this season of Mandalorian, and then given it a much more exciting start.
And a lot more din.
Yeah. That would have kept people engaged. It's like...
Yeah, it's
like, I don't know.
That is the weirdest thing they've ever done. Yeah. And like, I think you're right. I think that's hurt the series. Like if the shows even maybe were a month apart, maybe it wouldn't feel as shit. Yeah. Not having him around. Like, because those 3 episodes in Book of Boba Fett almost tie his story off, like,
because I'm pretty sure there's at least one, and I think it makes into 2, but there's episodes that are completely like Mandalorian based, like you don't see Boba at all, or nothing to do with what's happening.
The first one is entirely him.
Yeah. So it's like, just put that in
the show,
Mando.
Man. Yeah,
because I saw a thing where like people who are casual viewers, they're like, I saw a video where a guy was saying that his wife is a casual viewer. She enjoys watching these things, but she's not as in depth with it as him. So he's watched all of the Book of Boba Fett, and she's now like, oh, well, I love Baby Yoda. Let's watch this new season of Mando. And he's like, okay, but we need to watch this 3 or 4 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. And she's like, why?
Yeah. So that's Zara, because she's like, can I just watch, like, I haven't watched, she was like, is there anything I should watch before I watch the new season? I'm like, oh, probably like the last 2 episodes of Boba Fett. She's like, I haven't watched any of it. I'm like, oh, okay. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hope it all pays off. Like, I think this season may just be that middle season before things are interesting again. Like, it may just be laying the groundwork for what they want to do in season 4, which is a shame, but we'll see. We'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
I'm curious as to how it all ends. Like, so like knowing now there's only 2 more episodes left. I'm kind of like, what are you doing?
The con goers have said Ep 7 is really good. When you're in a room with a lot of people, everything's pretty good. So is
that 2 episodes including episode 7?
There's no 7 and 8, is it? There's only 8 episodes in the season. Yeah. So we've got 2. Right. The last 2 are both by Rick Fumiyaga, who is exec producing, and he's very good. So
cool.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. But something that I haven't been watching, but I really fucking want to watch.
Is
do you want to sell us on a little show that you watch?
A little show called Superman and Lois. Like Will and I both started watching season 1 together because like season 1 first episode was like incredible. Has such a good vibe to it. The thing that is lacking from this show though is like money.
Right.
Because if you watch episode 1 of season 1, the CGI budget is like insane. It's incredible. That immediately drops off. And I think like most pilots are like that anyway, where it's like the CGI and the overall like just like the budget in general is a lot higher because they want the pilot to look nice. But in saying that, the show is still very good. Good. We're up to season 3 now. So I think season 3.
Yes.
Season 3. Fuck, I don't know. But season 2 was entertaining. It definitely had its like filler episodes here and there. But it was fun for like Superman fans for some of the lore aspects that were involved in it. This season though, holy shit. So they've done like the Superman season 1. Season 2 was very much like,
you like the first season. Let's just do some more.
Season 2 is very much more of that, but more so leaning toward like the sci-fi, like drama, like superhero stuff. This season is very much like a humanity, like emotional, like it's a very, very grounded piece of TV.
Cool.
And there's one scene I really, really just want to like dive into. But it's not a spoiler for like story wise. It's just a moment that happens.
I've watched the scene outside of it, and I think it's fine to talk about because it's not.
Okay.
It's totally a thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So in the latest episode, this was my favorite episode I think, apart from the very first episode of the show ever, because the reason why I love this show is that it focuses on Superman and Lois, well, Clark and Lois, being parents and not just being Superman and Lois Lane. And I think that is the strongest aspect of this show, because they deal with like real family problems that if you're a parent and you have kids, you're going to relate to. If you are a child and you have parents, you're going to, like, you know, in some way see what they're dealing with. But even if, you know, you're not entirely in either one of those brackets, you're still going to really be engaged and understand what is happening and what these people are going through. The biggest thing this season is that, like, the main thing is that Lois has now got cancer, and it was the most, like, hard-hitting emotional thing ever. Yeah. And it is a really, really sad and confronting thing to deal with when even just watching a TV show. But in the latest episode, it was basically every aspect I've just talked about in the one thing. There was very, very, very little of Superman stuff. Yeah, it was all just Clark, Lois, family stuff. And then you've got the Cushings, who is like Lana Lang and like her husband and kids. They're dealing with their own family problems. So it was basically these two families dealing with two different things, or multiple things in this episode. And it was just a very, very grounded and like really, really well done episode. But the scene that just knocked it out of the park for me is that Clark's son, John, I think. I'm trying to recall their names. Oh, why do I always forget this? Anyway, one of his sons has like a new truck that he got because he got his license. His truck gets stolen, and then they retrieve it back because one of his sons has powers, the other one doesn't. They then find out that the person that stole the truck was his girlfriend's dad, because his dad is just a big dick. And he doesn't like this kid, not for any fault of the kid. The dad's just a dick. And so they take the truck back. This boy then goes to his girlfriend's place next day just to pick her up. The dad answers the door. They have a bit of an altercation, and he hits him. Like the dad hits the kid. Like a solid punch. It was like, damn, So then, of course, he goes home. Lois sees him. What happened to your face? And he's like, oh, I just heard it playing basketball. And she's like, don't lie to me. What happened to your face? And again, like, the actress that plays Lois Lane, Elizabeth Tulloch, is amazing. She's done really, really well so far. So then he tells her what's happened. Clark gets home. Actually, sorry, before that. So he tells her what happens, and then she takes the two boys to go and see this man, and she's like, why did you hit my son? And even that is like the most intense moment. He then kind of reveals he's got like a gun to his hip, so he threatens her with a gun. And I was like, dude, her husband's Superman. Like, you can't be doing this shit. Like, you can't.
You're making this worse, but
So then they go home. Clark then gets back from having to deal with like a Superman thing, and he's like, what's happened? Because he can just tell like something's off. They tell him what's happened, and he storms out of the house, and Lois says to him, this is not a job for Superman. And he turns to her and he goes, he's not who's going. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, Clark's about to screw this man up. So this guy is now eating dinner in a diner in Smallville. A lot of people that know Clark are in there. And Clark walks in, and he's calm. But the thing that makes this scene so intense is that all you hear is like a heartbeat. And as the scene moves on, the heartbeat gets more and more intense. And I was sitting there just not breathing. I was like, I'm not allowed to move. But yeah, so he basically he walks up to this guy, and he's like, are you whoever? And he's like, get out of my face, man. Like, who the hell are you? And then he basically says, like, you know, you've hit my son. You pull a gun on my wife. He's like, we're going to go outside and talk about this. And the guy's like, I'm not going anywhere with you, blah, blah, blah. Obviously tries to start a fight. He goes to push Clark, like a massive shove. And nothing. I loved it because it was pretty much the same thing that happens in Man of Steel, where he's in a bar at the beginning, and someone goes to push Clark in the bar because he's trying to look after this girl that's being harassed.
It's like Superman, one of the Christopher Reeve ones. I think it happens as well.
Maybe
one or two.
Because I feel like it's a very like it's like a Superman thing to have. In a movie or a show. But yeah, so he goes to push Clark and nothing happens. And this guy from his own push gets like thrown back a bit and he's like, what the hell? And then he goes to strike at Clark and Clark swipes his hand away, grabs him by the neck and slams him on the counter. And it was a moment where knowing who he is as Superman, the amount of control he needs to have to not just turn this guy to dust.
Shatter his head.
Phenomenal. And I think it was another thing that just made me fall back in love with the character because it's like, you could have just messed this dude up. Yeah. Like he could be dead. And all he did was hold him down so that he couldn't do anything and just say to him, like, you know, if you ever threaten my family again, he doesn't say he'll do anything. He says, my wife will expose you for the person you are and you will go away for a very long time. It's like he doesn't physically threaten him by like saying, I'm going to kill you or hurt you. It's like, we will do this to you that will ruin your life just because of your own actions. So he plays it very, very smart. And then when this guy, and then he's standing there with his arms crossed and he just goes to the guy, now leave. And the guy just runs out of there. And one of the people that they know in the diner, he's just like, damn, Kent. Like, because like no one expects him. So he goes from this very like serious, like ready to do anything sort of guy. And then he calms back down and he just goes, oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt everyone's dinner.
Amazing. Oh man.
And it was like it's a scene. It's definitely on YouTube somewhere.
I've seen it. I watched a bit of it via Twitter. So it's being shared around. It's one of my favorite scenes, and he's not even Superman in it. It's just like him, and I think it's cool because it's like when you're a parent, and not even being a parent myself, but you can sort of understand this. It's like you're willing to do anything to protect your kids, your partner, those that are close to you, and it's like he was just doing a very human, natural instinct thing of being like, I need to look after the ones close to me. And I think it's a thing that we haven't really seen a lot from a Superman show or movie where it's Clark losing his cool and Clark having to deal with something in front of people. So yeah, there's so many reasons why I loved it. Do you think that this season is a little bit more controlled because they know they've got an endpoint? Like they're kind of now having to go, we need to get these things done before we finish up.
I don't know, because has the show is like there's going to be a season 4, isn't there?
I think 5 is the last season. 5 is they're going to do 2 more seasons. I think is the idea.
Because I would say when we come to season 4, I think it'll be a bit like that because I don't think when they were doing 3 they
That's
knew.
True. Yeah.
But I mean, look, if because like there's definitely episodes here and there that are just filler, doesn't really add much and that are a bit messy. So if when they get to season 4 and 5, it means that does sort of push them to have very like tight-knit like stories and scripts and the writing's good and it's just a decent show all around, great.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Oh man, I've got to catch up. I want to watch them, man.
Yeah, it's very good. Again, it's like I never thought I would love this show for the aspects that I love them, but it's like they're doing something right.
Yeah, good. Oh man, yeah. No, it's on my watch list once there's no other fucking shows going on.
What have you watched, William? Tell us about anything you've watched.
I mentioned it earlier, but just quickly, Lewis Capaldi, How I'm Feeling Now. Is the Netflix doco he's done. It's very good. My parents aren't great with accents, and about halfway through, they're like, "Can you turn the subtitles on? I don't know what he's saying." I'm like, "Okay." He is very heavily Scottish, and so is his family. Yeah. But it's very good. It's very emotional. Like it is one of those docos where it feels a little art filmy in the way it lingers on stuff. Like there's bits of the movie where it is kind of a movie where you're watching it when you're like, why are we still here? Like, why are we still... it's like they haven't cut away from something or moved on.
Right.
And like, it's to kind of, bring you into the world a little bit more and let you sit with things. The thing it does the best for me is it makes it very clear that Americans are fucking stupid. And that makes me very happy.
Oh, do tell.
Well, because there's a bit. I mean, you can talk about your work. There's a bit where, because spoilers for a person's life, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But he obviously eventually works out that he has Tourette's.
Yeah,
and But before he works that out and he's got his tics and stuff, he's out at a meeting with a bunch of producers, these American band managers, and he's like, oh, just recently I've started to really get these tics. And they're like, no, you've had that for ages, man. It doesn't matter. And he's like, no, like I'm in pain recently. They're like, nah, like just go see like a psychiatrist. You'll be fine. He'll be able to like talk you through it. And you can just see him being like, what the fuck, man? And it's just like constantly, and it's funny because he doesn't talk about it. It's not like the movie is like making him describe these annoying people. It's just they film him in situations surrounded by Americans and they're just saying things where I'm like, God, they don't know how to read a room.
Yeah. Like it's not this thing that I'm watching that's making them look out of whack. It's them on their own. Like you don't need to edit this or do a dub or anything. It's just like they're being idiots on their own.
Yeah, it's a really good doco. It's built to be an advertisement for his new album, which is coming out soon. Okay. There's a lot of like, I'm working on this song, I hope it's good, and then they play it. So it's definitely a piece to watch alongside when the album drops. But
yeah, cool.
We love him. We love Lewis Capaldi, so definitely worth a watch. And the other thing that I watched was the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was just delightful. It's so poppy. It's a kid's film. Like, yeah, cool. Be aware of that. There's definitely. It's not very smart. It's just fun. So
yeah, good.
Definitely check that out.
Sure.
If you have some spare time. But that's all the things that we've been watching, I guess.
Yeah.
The last segment of the podcast, Sam, is where I tell you things that you can do in the next week. We just talked about things we've already done. In the thing we call the Toe-Vee guide. There's no title card here. I'm sorry. There's nothing exciting to look at.
What you need is you have to make one, but it needs to be like a TV remote as a foot.
You fucking nailed it. I haven't made one because I've had no ideas, but that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
You did it.
Just put all the buttons on a foot.
Yeah,
and then
the Toe-Vee guide. Oh god,
the Toe-Vee guide.
All right. There'll be one next week.
Cool.
But this week, on Tuesday, the day this pod comes out, is Sherlock Holmes The Awakened, which is a video game.
Ooh.
It's a remake of a game. Yeah. It's kind of an action-adventure game.
Okay.
It's not great. It doesn't come to us from, like, amazing AAA developers, but it's a fun Sherlock Holmes game that's gotten a nice modern remake. So well worth checking out. It's on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, the Switch, and PC. Wednesday the 12th is, of course, the second last episode of Mandalorian, unless it's dropped in the next 24 hours, in which case, nothing there. But if Mando doesn't drop on that Wednesday, you can watch the first episode of Renovations, the Jeremy Renner Renovation series, which I'm excited for.
That's going to be so fun.
Looks delightful. That's all on Wednesday. Thursday, Titans comes back for the second half of its final season. It's over. They've finally stopped making that show.
God, it feels like it's just been going on forever though, hasn't it?
It does. And I feel like every time I think I've caught up, there's another 2 seasons that I didn't watch.
Yeah.
When did you make them, you fucking weirdo?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's on binge, so check that out. When does Superman and Lois drop? Is that
that's on Wednesdays as well. So yeah, it's always fun because I'll just watch Mando or Superman and Lois and I can watch the other one after. So it's a great day for me.
It's a fucking good midweek. But also on Thursday, maybe not as good, is The Boss Baby Back in the Crib Season 2 dropping on Netflix. Get keen, everybody.
Oh no. Wait, so there's
Season 2.
So there's a series for The Boss Baby.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
You betcha. Season
delightful.
2. And you're going to have a fun time in the theaters with Mafia Mama dropping on Thursday. I'm sure that'll bring everyone back in.
What I will say about that is that the poster, terrible.
Yeah, right.
Terrible. Like not even the way, like not like the placement of things. It's like the lighting.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
Just whack. It's weird. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, yeah.
All right, check out the poster before you see the movie.
Yeah.
Or don't see the movie. And then on Sunday, Barry Season 4, which is what's his name? I can't remember. It's a comedy dramedy thing that people like. I don't watch it, but it's the 4th and final season of that is also dropping on Binge. So Binge is the way, man. Titans, Barry,
they've
Superman,
been doing
and
all
Lois.
right. They have been doing all right lately. Yeah.
It's the place to be. There's also a lot of films on Binge that are on Netflix. Like,
okay.
It feels like Binge bypasses so many laws. I don't know how that, because they also have stuff that is like Foxtel exclusive because it's HBO Max.
Yeah.
But then they also have it. It's like,
because I know that Binge fall under the Foxtel group.
Yeah, okay.
So I think it's that.
They got some. That's some get out of jail free shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
How funny. Well, that's plenty of stuff for you to watch and play this week. Fill your week with some fun. Obviously, this week on Wednesday, we'll be back with some That Figures. Heck yeah.
Get ready for a 4-hour episode because there is so much to talk about.
Yeah. Shazam. And also this week is this podcast that you're listening to right now. I think the Melbourne Mates might be back on Friday. I can't say that for certain, but they may be back with another stream this Friday. And that's all the content that'll be in your face. Exciting.
Or in your ears if you don't like watching video.
Oh. That's right. If you don't want to see our faces, you just listen to it.
Might be a safer option.
Yeah. You won't have to watch him drink Prime. And you won't have to watch my face just blow up.
I've been looking at my head the whole time, and it's like, 'cause I've got a light on plus like the window, so it's like my forehead is just blue, and then down here is like just skin
normal tone.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Sure. Maybe don't watch it with a video.
Yeah.
Good point. Get rid of the video.
Yeah.
And if you want to watch other things and see where we are across the internet, we're at etto.card.co. That's double R in the card. That's how you find us on all the things. If they want to find you, Sam, and your art, where do they go?
You can go over to Instagram at Sam's Studio AU and check that out if you like. If you do, thank you. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah. But until the next time you see our faces, which is Wednesday, I've been Will.
And I've been Sam.
Thank you, Sam. That was fun. Oh no.
Stay hydrated.